Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another gay Let's Play of Our Life Beginning and Always. This is the Wedding DLC, the long-awaited Wedding DLC. I know that ever since I beat the main game proper, a lot of you have been asking me if I would be continuing on to play the Wedding DLC, and I am absolutely excited. I heard that this actually is a pretty beefy and significant DLC, which sort of continues on and allows you to get into a good in-depth amount of actually like planning through the wedding and going through the whole process, which I actually found really like amazing in real life. I know for most people it's probably really stressful doing all of the wedding planning, but I'm a planner. You know, that's just one of the things that I just really can sink my teeth into. So I'm very excited to start this off and just see what they've done with this particular DLC. So one thing that I know we need to do is to beat the game proper. So yeah, so we have to skip through this part. So you basically have to go through this to the ending, and then I believe after that the wedding DLC will pop up. You can come back again. The end. Okay, let's skip this part. Show me the wedding. Show me the wedding. Oh, here we go. Hello again. Thank you so much for getting the Cove Wedding DLC. I love how they call it the Cove Wedding DLC, because at least to me that implies that there might be wedding DLCs for the other romanceable characters that will ultimately be released in this game. Thy name is Derek. But in this universe, we are with Cove. So I want you to go through that. Because you're already married to Cove in this playthrough, you can choose to continue your story into the wedding planning events if you accept the framing that you were legally married before and are only having the actual wedding now. Okay, so this is... I'm fine with this. I'm very cool with that. If you want to imagine that the wedding already happened when you got married before the start of Step 4, these events won't make sense for your life. Okay, well, I'm glad that they specified that. And you can always make a save here and come back if you want to return to the option later on. Yeah, I want to play the wedding DLC. No, I don't want the DLC to happen instead. No, I want to play the wedding DLC. I paid good money for it. I mean, why not? Welcome to the Cove Wedding DLC. These events are set up after Step 4, but it's not specified when. It could be during that same summer, the next summer a year in the future, springtime in California, etc. You can assume the timeline is whatever it needs to be to make sense for the choices you made to progress the relationship. See, this is so smart. Like, the game has always been really great about saying you can just headcanon, roleplay, however you want so that it makes sense with your story. I love that. They respect our story, our version, our uniqueness. We hope you have a truly wonderful wedding. Nice. Our wedding. Side by side, on a purple dye faux leather couch, you sat with your husband, Cove. The air in the chic office smelled non-distinctly perfumed, though luckily it was a demure touch rather than smothering. A soft hum came from the air conditioning, gently flowing the scent around the room. It was the first time either of you had been there, and you weren't sure if the atmosphere was meant to comfort or impress visitors. For some people, it wouldn't make a difference either way, like with your own partner, for example. Cove's hand was intently gripping yours. You could feel him trembling, and hear the squishing noise the couch made each time he shifted around. One part came from his usual nervousness over these kinds of matters, and the other came from an almost uncontainable excitement for the same reason. This place was the headquarters of a well-known event planning agency in the area, and this office belonged to their planner for a very particular type of special occasion weddings. You were here to plan your wedding together. Legally, you already were married, but you'd waited to have a full-blown occasion for it with a ceremony, reception, and everything. You felt truly content. You were overflowing with thrilled energy. You matched with Cove, shaking from nerves. You felt totally unnatural and like no big deal to you. you're focused on being concerned for Cove. I am flowing with thrilled energy. I am so excited for planning this wedding. With your vibration and Cove shivering, you hope you both didn't slide down off the cushions. Today's meeting should be straightforward, introducing yourselves to the planning team, getting familiar with one another, and going over only some basics. The entire process would take multiple visits here and trips to other locations. Before setting up the appointment with a planner, you and Cove decided that you were going to set the wedding in or at least near Sunset Bird. You also had a good idea of who would be attending, how large the wedding needed to be, and a few other details related to your lives going forward. That was as far as you had gotten in the process when you decided to bring in assistants. All the planning was going to be great, you thought. It was going to be a pain, but would be worth it, you felt. You were thankful you had the professional to do it this. Planning the day with Cove as a team was something you looked forward to. All the planning was going to be great. Cove noticed the dreaminess in your eyes and the corner of his mouth lifted hopefully. His second hand reached over to clasp both yours and his first. A metallic sensation pressed into your skin, the engagement ring securely on his left ring finger. Your feet muffled back against the black and white striped rug that covered over the center of the hardwood floor as you returned to smile back. Here we are. Here we are. It's really happening. His fingers squeezed your hands deeper into his hold. I'm not really good with, any of this, but I'm sure that whatever ends up being like, it's going to be amazing. If it has to be because it's with you. It has to be because it's with you. You're wonderful. I agree. I'm glad you're feeling good about things. Yeah, and hopefully you only panic a moderate amount along the way. I wouldn't say that. You had to turn your face away out of shyness. Yeah, you gave an earnest Mard. I'm glad you're feeling good about things. You could let yourself relax some knowing he wasn't worried. And then there was a series of quick knocks. Your conversation stopped as you shared unsure looks between one another. Come in? In response to Cove's words, the shiny wood door off to the side swung open. Hello, lovebirds. Oh. Baxter? Wow, he looks different. Standing in the entryway was a tall man about your age. His dark gray hair was swept to the side, and on his neck was a distinctive mole. He's got a really swanky outfit, I gotta admit. I'm a big fan of purple and guys. His curved grin and brown eyes grew wide and sank. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Love would have been a lie if you two dolls had broken up. Is he our planner? Cove stared while frozen in place, a deer in the headlights. His mouth opened and then closed again soundlessly. Baxter, do you know this person, Cove? This is awkward. This is amazing. Your eyes are between Cove and the man, confused. You are speechless seeing him. Baxter? The former tourist stepped further into the room while chuckling.
That's wonderful.
I'm flattered you two people of excellence remember me too. And I didn't even have to dress in black and white. His style choices might have changed, but you realize now the design of the rug might not have been an entirely arbitrary choice. It was exciting to see it was really him. You could only feel shock and disbelief. You were ticked. I don't dislike Baxter, but I'm not like super excited to see him either. I'm kind of like neutral. You could feel only shock and disbelief. This was an incredibly unexpected reunion. It's been a while. Years.
I know.
Yeah, it has been. Cove dropped his response heavily. The tone likely would have been even firmer if he wasn't still in disbelief that Baxter had reappeared in front of both of you, and as a wedding planner of all things. He is our wedding planner. I'm cool with this. I'm excited about that. Your wedding planner. What happened? No one's heard from you at all, until right now, I guess. The more he spoke, the more a sardonic edge caught up to Cove. Well, as professionally as possible, Baxter strode the other half of the room and took a seat in the rolling office chair opposite the couch you were on. He used the tips of his feet to smoothly twist the chair's position so that it faced you completely as he continued the reply. I went back to college, eventually graduated, joined the great wide career world, grew up, and learned some more. I'm still learning. To fully settle in, Baxter dropped an elbow on the armrest of his seat and rested his cheek against the propped-up fist. That's the curated version. Life is a wonderful journey. The words were strong, spoken flatly, inauthentically, and punctuated with a dismissive gesture of his free hand. It was impossible to tell if the sarcasm was purely in response to Cove's own sharpness or if there was something else. Even Cove raised an eyebrow at how clear the displeasure was. Baxter was aware of the impression he was given, but only half shrugged with one shoulder over it. His eyes drifted away from you and your partner. Whatever the story was, you definitely weren't getting the full version of it. Well, I'm happy we got to meet again. Okay, I hope you've been alright. This is so weird. I missed you. You didn't comment. I hope you've been alright. A bend formed in his brows, a small sign of regret. I'm very well.
Now?
That's my introduction taken care of, then. Let's swing things back around to the real reason you came. You're getting married! Congratulations! You were given an enthusiastic round of applause from the audience of one. That sounds like Baxter. You had been able to tell Baxter about your engagement before he left. Baxter never found out about your proposal that summer night. I feel like I would have told him. You know, I don't think I would have cut myself off of him completely. You'd been able to tell Baxter about your engagement before he left. You had caught him the next morning before he went back to college, and you stopped hearing from him. Before an uncomfortable silence could form, Baxter offered more words on your relationship. Honestly, I am happy to see you're still together, but I can't help being a little surprised you haven't gotten married already by now. Oh, well, we did. We just are having a ceremony now. Oh, we are married. Legally, I mean. It's only a ceremony and party with family and everyone that we're here to set up. Ah, that makes sense. Engaged and married. It's all gone by. I've missed a lot. Baxter slipped a pen out of his jacket pocket and tapped it against the desk counter at his side. He looked between you and Cove, satisfied. Thank you for answering. Considering we're already acquainted, it should make the process that much better. I'm sure your special day is going to be one to remember. Cove's uneasy single word was directed towards you. In a whisper, he elaborated on what was supposed to mean. Are we really going through with this, having Baxter plan our wedding? I'd like you to. Cove quietly yelped. It wasn't unreasonable that the person on the other side of the room could hear the conversation, but Cove had not expected him to answer. Oh, I mean, I think I could do it well. I can do it right. I actually agree. I think Baxter would do a really kick butt job. Really kick butt job being a wedding planner. And there's very few weddings I'd like to see go off like a charm than this one. He definitely is invested in us too, and he cares. So I was very fortunate enough to have a wedding planner that was a very good friend of mine from high school. Thank you. Our Laura is her name. Thank you, Laura, for being so wonderful. He spoke in a conciliatory way. Baxter's normal boldness was entirely missing while asking for this chance. You and Cove faced one another on the couch. The softness in his eyes and the sloping of his brows shared his thoughts without him needing to say a word. He was being swayed. You nodded to your partner. There was a pause, and then Cove spoke. Okay. While still on the couch, Cove brought his torso up to his full height and held his head high. Then, the look on his face was determined. Since this is actually the reality that exists now, I've got a question for you, Baxter. Yes? Cove's strong stance began to crumble as he shrunk into himself once more. Is your offer for dance lessons still open? Oh! Your new planner gasped before quickly settling into laughter with a clap of his hands. Of course! Always! That's a relief. I'm probably gonna need them.
I'm here if you need me.
I understand completely. I'm here for you. You as well, Hark, if there's a need. You were a good dancer, but it would be nice to practice with someone. You were a good dancer and didn't need the help. You were a good dancer and didn't want to dance with Baxter. You weren't a good dancer and could use the guidance. You weren't a good dancer but didn't want lessons anyway. You weren't a good dancer but didn't want to dance with him. I mean, I'd like to think of myself as a decent dancer. I think I could hold my own. But it would be nice to practice with someone. Yeah, I'd like that. Got it. That works for me. Now. He shifted closer in the rolling chair with a glint in his eyes that made him look like a teen he used to be. Let's roll up our sleeves and get into the details, which I don't mean literally. No need to crumple my jacket, but I am going to have to ask you quite a few questions. Fire away, fire away. I'm ready. So am I. To start, what's your surname? Did it change after marriage? Yeah, it did. We both used Holden Angel now. Oh, good to know. Hark and Cove, Holden Angel. Very nice. Cove straightened up against the back of the couch. You could practically hear his heart pounding over your names being said as one that way. It still had the impact on him. See, if it were me, I would have done what we did in real life, which is smash our names together. Not hyphenate. Just smash them together. Because Angel Holden, okay, that's not too bad, but I think it would have been, you know, I would have liked something more like Angel or, I don't know, Holdle. Maybe not. Holdle might be harder to say. Angel might be what would have been cool. Harkangel. There we go. Harkangel. Because my name, my bachelor name, was very long. And Colin's bachelor name is decently long too. And smashing. Also, people had trouble pronouncing my name properly. But after we smashed our names together, as opposed to hyphenating, because if hyphenating it, our names would have been 7 syllables, a 7-syllable name, which is ridiculous to do to our kids, especially when they're like filling out the Scantron for standardized tests and stuff, if that's even a thing now. But anyway, we didn't want a ridiculously long name, nor a ridiculously complicated one, with a name, my name, already being difficult for people to pronounce, much less tacking on 3 more syllables to it. So we smashed it together, and oh my gosh, nobody has ever mispronounced my last name ever since. It made you giddy too. No, I still use Holden, and Hark still uses Angel. Good to know. Nothing wrong with that. I see. I wouldn't have liked that. I would have wanted us to have the same name, especially if we're having kids. Ooh, children DLC. That would be. I would not put it past the developers. Like, if the fans want it, somebody might even mod it. A first child, or children DLC. What about titles in the wedding? Bride, groom? It can be whichever you like, honestly. Can I be a groom? Of course, it's your day. I'm a groom too. He's the groom and I'm the bride. Can I be called neither? See, I love that there's those options. I'm a groom too. Wonderful. 2 grooms for our couple of the wedding. Baxter flipped open a notebook set on the desk. Can I get an idea of scale? Only an estimate. It doesn't have to be a complete guest list, and even if it was, you never know how many of those invites will accept the RSVPs. Don't stress too much over who's going to be in attendance. Oh, Cove stepped off of the Cloud 9 when he had been hovering on since the start of the conversation, and planted himself back firmly on the purple couch in Baxter's office. For sure, there's going to be our parents, 4 of them, Hark's sister and his uncle, aunt, and cousin. Some grandparents should be there, but not all of them. We'll have our friends Derek, Miranda, Derek, Terry, Derek, and Derek. He nodded genuinely as Cove filled Baxter in. That's right, but I also was wondering if we could invite Shiloh. Ugh. Cove snorted, covering his mouth to resist a full laugh. Cove! I like Shiloh. You're just jealous. You're just jealous. We can try, but I kind of don't think he'll show up. Then he won't show up. The worst thing that would happen is he did show up. At least he knows that I'm at least trying. I'm at least trying to reach out to him halfway, and if he doesn't meet me halfway, I can sleep well. I can sleep well at night knowing that I tried. Baxter's eyes shifted from your face to Cove's and back again. It was sharp. He was trying to read the room. A coworker of yours? No. A childhood friend. The mirth Cove had rapidly turned into more of a nervous chuckle. He'd momentarily forgotten it wasn't just a conversation between you and him. Shiloh is someone we've known since we were kids. It's just, he's not exactly reliable. He's always done what he feels like and he doesn't do anything else. I have friends like that, but I still try to reach out to them. They don't always reach out back. They don't always reach back. They don't always reciprocate, but I try, you know? Because who knows? May or may not happen. One of these days, that person may find out that they don't have very many friends who still reach out to them. So if I'm one of the few ones who do, I don't know. Maybe they would. Maybe they wouldn't notice it. You know? I think Hark likes him more than I do. You think? You think? I don't hate him or wouldn't let him come to our wedding. I don't hate him or wouldn't let him come to our wedding, though. Thank you, honey. Thank you. Shiloh isn't that bad. Exactly. He's hard to like, but harder to hate. It's just for old time's sake. Imagine how funny it'd be. I want to do it for Liz. You know she still has a spot for him. You accept the code description without retort. Shiloh isn't that bad. We've got some interesting relationships. I'll put it down and we can certainly send an invitation when the time comes. It'll be up to Shiloh to decide what to do with the offer. Who else? You and Cove continued to come up with family members, friends, professional relations, and the like to make an estimated size of the wedding. And all the while, Baxter jotted down the information like an attentive student sitting at the front of the class. And those of you whom you most want and expect to be there, would any of them make up wedding parties, or is everyone a normal guest? We're thinking of having a wedding party, because that would be fun. I would, listen. I had my wedding figured out, and like, my dream wedding sort of pre-planned before I even met my husband, before I even met Colin. So there were definitely a bunch of things I already had in mind, including wedding party stuff. We were thinking of having a wedding party. Right, we hadn't picked exactly who to be in it yet, Derek. But we were having wedding parties. Derek.
Certainly.
Of course. Let's discuss who's with who now then. It can be an equal split between the both of you, but it's not a rule. If one of you has a bigger wedding party than the other, it's completely fine. It's all about the two of you, so you can do as you please. I like Baxter. See, this is why Baxter is a good wedding planner. Everything he says is like, it's your day. You do you, boo. You do whatever you want. I like that. Tepidly, Cove offered his first thoughts on the matter. I don't know. Maybe it's embarrassing or even sort of dumb, but as great as my friends are, the person I'd want to be there as my best man is my dad. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that idea. That's so sweet. I love it. Cove, you're a genius. It's not dumb at all. He's going to be so happy to hear that. That's a perfect choice. You've come a long way, Cove. You simply nod understandingly. Yeah, we can offer him $20 to do it. Yeah, we can offer him $20 to do it. Perfect. That'll work for sure. I'm sorry. I originally was going to pick the really genuine, sweet answer, but as soon as I saw the $20 thing, I was like, that is hilarious. We have to do it. We have a missed opportunity if we didn't do that. Totally missed opportunity. It's a great, it's a wonderful story to tell the kids someday. Perfect. That'll work for sure. Having that close of a relationship with your father is a beautiful thing.
What do you think?
Hark, do you know who will be the lead of your wedding party? And the title isn't important. Best man, best woman, or best person? Maid, man, or individual of sort? It's all fine, Derek. My mom, Pamela. My mama, Noeleni. My sister, Liz. My cousin, Lee. My mother-in-law, Kyra. My friend, Derek. My friend, Miranda. My friend, Terry. I love that we get to have these options. My friend, Derek. I feel like Derek would give me an amazing bachelor party. I just feel like he'd give me an amazing bachelor party. I would be all for that. All for that. My friend, Derek. As my man of honor, best man, person of honor, best person. He's my best man. Yeah. I think that works. Cove is my husband, my love of my life, my spouse, my everything. But Derek is my best man. Derek's my best man. Very well. Anyone else in the parties? Well, I'm good with whichever friends and family being in my party, but I'd kind of want the size of things to be sort of close. Everybody could probably be in Hark's party if there wasn't more of a split. So if that's okay, there'd probably be 3 or 4 in the parties at most. That makes sense. But I wanted to have everyone else in my party. No, I wouldn't. I would want an even split. I didn't want that many anyway. You nodded acceptance of Cove's request. You just shrugged. That makes sense. Great. For your own party, you chose... I'm gonna say my cousin Lee, because I love my cousin Lee. My cousin Lee. I'm gonna say Miranda, Terry, Naleni, Pamela. I'm gonna say my sister Liz. And I guess my mom, Pamela, my mom. See, if I get one mom, I have to get the other. And I don't want my party to be that huge. I know that Cove's dad is on his side, so it would be kind of cute if I had, one of my mom. But then it's like Cove's dad and then both of my parents, his one parent and both. I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. Miranda and Terry. I think that's everyone. I don't want my party to be. My party does not have to be that huge, and that's everyone. And I'd use groomsmen for the title. Groom's attendants for the title. wedding attendants for the title, wedding crewmates for the title, groom's women for the title, groom's attendants. Because I picked Lee. Who did I pick? I picked my cousin and my sister. So groom's women, groomsmaids. We use groomsmaids. Groom's attendants for the title, wedding attendants for the title, wedding crewmates. Groom's women for the title. Then my party is going to be Kyra and Terry. That makes sense. Cool. Yeah, Kyra and Terry. He'll have his mom. There we go. Now he has both of his parents, and I don't have any of my parents. Whoops. It's okay. It's okay. And with that, you successfully mapped out the members of your wedding parties. Perfect. I'll make notes. The statements was made extra clear by the clicking noise of Baxter keenly tapping his pen on the armrest. On the topic of guests and that sort, are you open to attendees giving speeches during the reception? Yes. We can make it so only select people are arranged to say some words about the couple, or have a mic open for anyone interested in taking it, or discreetly circumvent anyone from gathering attention in order to talk. I feel it'd be nice to have some specific people talk. I'd be fine with anyone making a toast or giving a speech if they want. Can we not do speeches? Oh no, I want speeches. I want people. It's our day. It's our day. I want people to talk about us. I want people to flatter us, to talk to other people about us. It's our day. If you haven't noticed, I'm the kind of person who likes being the center of attention. It's our day. I'd be fine with anyone making a toast or giving a speech if they want. I can't get that too. People are going to tease us whether it's in a speech or not. Good. He continued along casually, accepting later input. Plus, honestly, I just kind of want to see who wants to talk, who wants to say something. And I'm ready for it. And are you thinking of writing anything yourselves? For custom vows? Just remember, it's an option, not an obligation. There's no pressure to make a custom declaration if you're not comfortable with it. Oh. I had custom vows in mind, if I'm honest. Truthfully, I'm hoping to doing the normal ceremony speech. I wanted to let Cove decide what he felt up for. No, custom. We did custom. Are you okay with that, Cove?
Of course.
Of course. There's a lot I could say. And I'm going to be really nervous either way. Cove's eyes squinted up from his cheeks as he smiled at you so sweetly. You were feeling butterflies already, and the vows hadn't even been said.
Lovely.
Lovely, just lovely. And that is highly personal, so you each can work on them privately, outside of your appointments. Baxter relaxed back into his chair and looked you both over. His smile curved widely. It was a lot that made Cove nervous. It was a look that made Cove nervous. You could feel him begin to fidget uncomfortably at your side. Let's talk a little bit more about traditions and wedding norms.
To be honest,
We're all friends here, so I'll be frank. If one of you sincerely asks not to get splattered with cake or for whatever else, and the other does exactly the opposite simply because they think it's funny, I will personally see to it that your marriage ends. If you can't treat your partner and their boundaries with respect on your wedding day, you don't deserve them as your spouse. Now, I sincerely doubt that's going to be a problem with you two, but it's an occupational hazard.
in that case,
With that said, do you have any requests pertaining to either the ceremony or the reception? We can arrange for anything special that you do want included. Well, I definitely don't want anything to happen with the cake. It should just be for eating. Now bring on the cake. Smash that cake in my face. Have fun. The wedding is supposed to be fun and entertaining, not just for me and for Cove, but for everybody. I did do a proper cake cutting with Cove without all the mess. Boo. Not for me. If you, however you all want your wedding, I'm not knocking at all. I'm just going with what I want. What I want for my dream wedding. I want to smash some cake. Cove, you can smear it on me too. It'd be fun to smash some cake in Cove's face, but I don't want to get on any myself. Cove should, but I wouldn't want to smash cake on him. I want to smash some cake. Cove, you can smear it on me too. Baffled, Cove's gaze remained fixed on you silently. He didn't appear opposed to the idea exactly, but then he rocked with a surprised laugh.
What?
Are you... Really? Heck yeah, do you even know me? Do you even know your husband, Cove? Let's party! Your grin grew in amusement at his stunned expression. You drew an X over your heart with your fingers. Cross my heart, I promise not to make too much of a mess. It'll be fun.